お前はもう死んでいる。
What's going on, guys? It's Trevor Plays here, back again with another My Hero Academia live reaction to the manga chapter. We are here with chapter 304, titled Izuku, Midoriya, and Toshinori Yagi. Now, obviously, I might have seen a page just because the title of the chapter is on the next page, but I may have seen it, but I have not read it yet. So we are going to live reaction read. Obviously, it's what we do here. Reading the new chapter. We all thought this. We all know. With Deku being in a coma, he's going to talk to the previous users. Yeah. We all knew that. I don't know why we didn't know that. For some people, maybe. I don't know. But I definitely knew that this was where this was gonna go. So, let's see. I can feel one for all within the boy, but only very faintly. How's everyone faring? Aizawa-sensei, Ryukyu, Ida, Gran Torino, Kachan, Hado, Endeavor, Todoroki, Togata, Rocklock, Manual. Please, be okay, everyone. Oh, I love this big page spread right here. My Hero Academia, chapter 304, Izuku, Midoriya, and Toshinori Yagi. Before you wake up, we gotta have a chat, says the 5th user. And everybody is sitting in their chairs. And then the other 2 previous users, 2 and 3? 2 and 3 are the ones that we don't know. Their backs are facing to us, or are facing Deku, so we can't see their face, but we can see their outfits. Sorry to force this on you in such trying times, says, All for One's brother. And then we have the 2nd user, the 3rd user, facing the wall, so we can't see their face at all. But we can see some of their, we can kind of see their costumes in the big page, shot, and then we can see close up on their heads. So we can see one of them, I think it's the 3rd user, he has his hair up, and he has a bandana on. The other one, the 2nd user, has spiky hair, and has like, almost like Bakugo wears and the poster for the 3rd movie. I'm just throwing things out there, okay? Then we have the 4th user. This too is destiny. And then the 5th user, nah, just a matter of timing. The 6th user, my esteemed colleague Banjo, has already spoken to you a bit about this. Then we have Nanashimura, and then we have the ghostly fiery figure of Toshinori Yagi, or All Might. All the predecessors are within me in a dream again. Before, we could only interact with you by weaving through the okay. I'm trying to read this, okay? I'm trying to read this. Of your flickering consciousness, but that limitation no longer exists. About 4 months ago, my power, that is said to be one for all, began growing rapidly. Along with the growth, the vestiges of the predecessors within One for All took on more solid forms, and they are now able to communicate with each other. In the earlier battle, my brother's power drew us out by sheer force, allowing us to appear before you more easily than before. Don't worry though, kiddo. We'll still give you your privacy when you need it. Oh, right. You ain't got a mouth. But wait, back there. I did manage to speak then. My mouth has formed just a little bit. What do you need? What do you need to tell me? Is it nice? And then allow me to explain. So this one was the fourth user. I am the fourth. My name is Hikage Shinomori. In your last battle, you drew on my power without meaning to. Danger sense. Yeah? That came as a shock to me. Sorry. I get the sense that it would have been better for you to discover danger sense in a better setting. That was well said. Okay, yeah, here we go. Shinomori here was a weirdo who shunned modern society for the life of a hermit. Mine was a terrible era. They were the weirdos, not me. Do you happen to know how long I lived and what killed me? You died at 40. Not sure what killed you. It wasn't written in All Might's notes. Or rather, it was like he wrote something, but erased it. I died of old age. Old age? He was only 40, though. Banjo and I had no way of knowing my cause of death until Yagi told us after some research. I'll get straight to the point. As of now, One for All cannot be wielded by an ordinary person. Huh? I possessed One for All, the second only after Yagi. For 18 long years, I evaded All for One and devoted my life to building up power. From the moment I inherited the quirk, I knew I could never defeat that villain, so I decided to spend my turn, so to speak, amassing further strength. In my final years, these cracks appeared on my body. I thought it was an unknown disease of some sort, or that perhaps I hadn't trained hard enough. But when Yagi dug up my medical history and autopsy report, the truth became clear. I say I died of old age because possessing multiple quirks effectively eat away at my very life. Okay. Your life? No way. But hang on a minute. One for All only grew stronger after your time, Shinomori, and All Might managed to hold on to it for much longer. That brings us to what we must tell you. When Yagi realized that possessing One for All places a terrible burden on the body, he thought the same thing. The others never held it for long, and since they died in battle, Yagi's only other point of comparison was himself, which is why he thought about what Shinomori had that he himself lacked. All Might was quirkless. Yes. Yagi still lives, but the knowledge he gained was passed to us via his shade in here. He couldn't be entirely sure, so he didn't tell you, but what my brother said confirmed it. He spoke of how a person's essence is hardwired into their quirk factor. But then, why would Yagi still appear here when he never had a quirk factor of his own? All this time, we believed that the raw spirits of us predecessors resided within One for All. But, in truth, those fragments of consciousness came about with the quirk factors of the 2nd through 7th successors. That is what One for All contains. Yagi is the sole exception. Only he imbued One for All with a true piece of his consciousness. A vessel with an existing quirk of its own could not receive One for All without wrapping and spilling over. And attempting to force it anyway results in a shortened lifespan, as the 4th experienced. For 40 years, Yagi managed his grip on One for All. It was a perfect fit for his previously empty vessel, and as such, it truly became his quirk. By some twist of fate, this power that must pass from one to the next wound up being meant for those who lacked power to start with. They are the ones who can draw out its true value. As Deku looks at his hands and his body. You mean, especially now that the predecessor's quirks are manifesting, I definitely can't pass this on to a normal person. One for All can't be transferred anymore. That's what you're saying. Quirkless individuals have all but vanished in your generation, and you're unlikely to come across another who needs such power. None of us knew any of this at this point, but as fate would have it, it passed into his hands and then yours. If only we had found a way to interact with the wielder sooner. So much pain and suffering could have been avoided. You get it now, kiddo. You might be the last one. Oh God. You might be the last wielder of One for All. I could be the last one? That's the real issue. Now, Izuku, tell me. Can you kill Tomura Shigaraki? I have no words. I have no words. This chapter is definitely a top 10 favorite chapters of the whole series. If Deku is truly the last quirkless person of his generation, then that means he is the last wielder of One for All, because it cannot, literally what they just explained is, it cannot be passed on to somebody who has a quirk already anymore. Like, it cannot be passed on to anybody anymore unless they are quirkless. So, and with how this story is going, and Deku being our main protagonist, him being the last wielder makes sense. I love this series. I love this series. It has its ups and downs, but that's fine. That is fine, because when we get chapters like this is what makes a story. If the story has ups and downs, you can then pick it back up again with another high up. This is a high up. And I do kind of wish we had more of Nanashimura talking, although she didn't say anything at the very beginning of the chapter, and she just said this at the very end. That's impactful, honestly, because, it's technically, she's asking if Deku can kill Tomura Shigaraki. Can he kill her grandson? Now, I'm hoping, because this is also on the 14th, so no break again, so I'm hoping we're probably going to continue on with this dream sequence, and I'm fine with that. I really want to hear what does Deku have to say. Can he kill him, or won't he? What is Deku's response? Now, with the previous things before, with All For One taking over Shigaraki's body, and Deku saying, "You look like you need saving," honestly, that and the fact that All For One is taking over Shigaraki's body, I don't like that. That is one thing that I can confidently say I don't like. I don't like how the main villain is still All For One. It needs to be Shigaraki. And, well, technically Shigaraki is the name of... this is confusing, because Shigaraki is the name of All For One, and the brother of One For All, and the brother who has One For All. Their name is Shigaraki, but Tomura Shigaraki is the adopted name. Tomura Shimura, or what was his name? I forgot what his name was. Was it Tomura Shimura? Or something like that. I don't know. Tomura Shimura. What am I saying? Tomura Shigaraki is the Shigaraki we know now. So, the fact that she's asking, can Deku kill him? Tell me. Can you kill him? I need an answer. I need this answer as much as she does. So, I love this chapter. Again, like I said, this is definitely a top 10 chapter out of the whole series. And just the art style and the introduction of the fourth user. And the very first page, well, technically the second page, but the very first big wide angle shot of every single user. I love this. It's so good. But yeah, this was a really good chapter. This was a really good chapter. So if you guys also enjoyed this, please hit that thumbs up button. Leave some comments down below on what you guys thought of this chapter and what you think is going to happen next. And do you agree that, Deku might be the last wielder of One For All? I mean, it makes sense. To me, it makes sense. So, yeah. If If you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe and notification bell to be notified anytime I upload a new video, and I'll see you guys next time.